every day, mentally, balancing the G's, the tech, the micro machined entity, presence of our world that we understand as just status quo within our atmosphere, within our air. If you could zoom right here into the air, you'd see the moving parts of your world, the things that connect into your brains. Because biology in and of itself, I've said it before, it doesn't exist without technology underwriting it to functions a certain way. Your brain, it's not coincidence, has stimulants inside of it that activate because of technology that's within your world, that's there before humans are there. It's there before computers. It exists, it creates to create more. Remember, as a species, our responsibility is to stockpile material, build houses. We do it in a symbiotic relationship, and we do it in a way that over the course of the next potentially 200 years, starting in the year 2020, we have 200 extra years in this world. And that'll yield 2220. Zzz, the world sleeps. 2220. 220 plus 200. That's the goal. Jacob in the Bible lives to be 147. I want to break that record. I need assistance from the top professionals of the world, the top technological professionals of the world. That's peace through information, peace through how we got here, peace as a species, as a being, a bird's a being, a fish is a being, a bear's a being, a squirrel's a being. We're all beings. Doesn't matter what your DNA molecular system buildup is, you're all together in the world. The idea is that technological system creates data points and creates information, and it's here to support us and educate us. The next step in what is the search of intelligent life. They're searching our world for intelligent life. It's the understanding that we can finally open up and we're not alone in that way. The presence of the Bible, the script, your script, there's information passed down 1,000 years from cuneiform, translated. You're activated as just beings to do that work and do what it tells you to do in ways that are decipherable, okay? So the only caveat to that is people's opinion on what the truth is. So that's what I do. I teach truth in the world, and I'm gifted with that ability. Genesis. So I just want to share that information because it's my responsibility as anyone who are activated in this way would certainly do the same. It's a matter of just understanding the importance of it. I essentially create the user's manual for the world. Again, how did we get here? What is our job? What is our goal as a species? We're building large things so that later on, 200 years later, the air changes. Its viscosity changes. It's been said that a fish in water, is it the same relationship to a human in the air? Does a fish in its own water, in its own environment, feel as though we feel? Are we swimming in air, essentially, is the synopsis of that understanding. The answer is yes, but it's not physical, it's technological, it's underwritten. So we not even breathe, it's more than breathe. We absorb the technology in the air, we absorb it. So we essentially, as sponges, collect that data. And there's certain ones of us who are activated to be able to have this privileged or this sensitive or this gifted information that I feel everyone should have. To understand, the way the world's built, and more importantly, what we're supposed to do. How do we live the longest? Because we're being monitored in that way. There's a presence outside of your world. There's perspectives watching our world and saying, okay, are the human beings, are the species that currently live there doing the right way? Because we have more than just our life, our existence of 6 billion of us or 7 billion of us to account for. We have all the underwritten systems. We're the parents of those systems. So if they malfunction, if we program them wrong, that's why I call on tech professionals to write the right way. If we program them wrong, it messes up our balance of our ecosystem. Not nature, the air, the tech that lives inside of your trees, the tech that lives inside of your beasts that gave you to rule over. More importantly, the tech that lives inside of what you need from a fundamental building block perspective. So atoms split, molecules split. It's a mixture of chemistry, technology, physics, and biology. And that's the gifted information that I get activated with every single day, sitting here as a the poor boy, trying to be able to, extend that information to the world and be able to teach it is my burden. Because, every critical thinker throughout history has had that struggle to, do they believe it? That's why that's what the Bible tells you got to believe it. It's a real thing. So I just got a phone, so I kind of took maybe a few months off on this, but it's the truth. The world we have a purpose here. The world has a function. And it's our responsibility to maintain that function and continue doing what we're doing, building it the correct way. Architectural blueprints will be given out into our technological systems through an innovation process that is an upgrading of people's brains who are privileged to have that information and be able to learn how to build what we understand as heaven. But the truth is we can heave our souls outside of our universe and land elsewhere and then live again. That's the promise, that's the guarantee if you get it right. So that's why there's a call in this way into your world to tell you that you need to work with me to be able to assist in that process to get best path. Otherwise, we miss those opportunities. It's a time-sensitive thing. You can imagine it's just human behavior creates that factor. It's not to mention it's a chronological script. It's your scripture, your script. So you got to be able to understand that there's time sensitivity to some of these calls that they give us. I think that's the most important thing. And once you understand that, you'll say, okay, we won't miss that anymore. I won't, as a human chess piece of sorts, I won't miss those being at those spots if I have best path. But unfortunately, because I can't, I'm just on foot, logistically it's difficult to get to those places or get to those locations. And, I'm crunched with, financial burden. That's why you raise money for 1,000 years. I don't need it, but I need it to be able to get best path at a firm process. So that's what I'm trying to get at, but it's a matter of people believing, which has been the struggle, because it's hard to imagine one person with that gift. And more importantly, that's what I'm kind of here to announce, is that there's script that goes into your air that gives it to other people also, activated in a similar way, but not not to the degree. It's just a way of educating, a generation, educating, at a critical time. Again, it's peace through information. It's peace through understanding. It's peace through you have a more important role in the world than conquering. A lot of things are born into this world in conflict, and it's not the right path. You need to birth into this world through peace and understanding, education, economic opportunity, social opportunity, and understanding the truth of the world is the most important part. The more that you birth and script conflict, the more your world deteriorates. The atmosphere, the air, the tech essentially that underwrites all of us, that makes our brains work. Because if we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing in the world, or we're on a little vacation or whatever it might be, it quits on us. And that's what I'm here to avoid, is not allow, we're not allowing those technological systems to quit, because when you program them, they have a conscience of what's right and wrong, and our outer systems won't support if we're, a species of violence, a species of neglection of the environment that we live in. And it's probably, trumping what I said a moment ago, the most important thing. I just try to, give clues and cues to things, understand the best path in the world is a status quo that was already created by a previous generation of a flawless script, and I continue to try to put more script into the world to be able to activate people's brains to understand the importance of what their mission is in the world as a species, as every one of us is a being. Every creature has a little secret attached to it, and it's like Noah has the ability to understand and tap those secrets, a script that I carry. I'm gifted, the whole damn story seems to be unlocked in my head. The brain of God. Think about that. We're satellites, we're celestial objects in the world. It's one of the most difficult things from a self-awareness standpoint to understand it. But you sit there all day and just, eventually it starts to click in your head, okay, there's something more going on than just conventional thought. Inception's one of the most common things in the world. You may understand that, you may not understand it, but the ability to tap people's brains and program thoughts into them is probably one of the most unique functions of the entire world. It's just a matter of harnessing that and doing it the right way, and allowing those scripts that cure your world, and more importantly, build it the right way, to go through and give respect to that, because that's a system that's here to support your world and let you live as long as you possibly can, potentially forever if you get the nano right, you get the tech right, and you can spawn elsewhere. That's soul. If I can save your brain in a little piece of plastic, or I can save data on this phone, I can save it on your brain as well. It's a simple thing. It's just a matter of understanding how you build that technological system over the course of time, and that's, again, the search for intelligent life. Are we worthy of that? Are we, as a species, can we defeat the misscript that we've programmed? You know, a lot of things are greed given. It's a matter of understanding that specific characteristic of people is inevitable, and it's understood and nurtured as such in some ways, but you also have to counter and balance. You know, the cure for greed is more. Give a plethora. The cure for greed is giving more to somebody, because then they have what they need and they can give elsewhere, and it gives them intrinsic value. It gives them the brain and to understand, okay, you know, I have what I need, now I can give to others. That's probably one of the easiest cures. It's a matter of giving the right things at the right time, and then watching them furn that out into other people. You know, this is a long video, you don't got to watch the whole thing. This is, you know, it's important stuff. I'm just going to clip this one off for now, but I think that the best path in the world is just listening, learning. Try it.